Hello and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be answering the questions: how much RAM do you actually need for a budget gaming PC, and does RAM speed actually make any difference? So this question came up when I was doing my £450 budget gaming PC, and if you haven't seen this video you'll find a link to it in the description. So in this PC I went with a Ryzen 3 3100, which is a 4-core CPU. We've got a GTX 1650 with 4GB of VRAM, and I decided to go with 8GB of RAM for this build. The kit I used was from Kingston. It was their HyperX Fury Black, 2 sticks of 4GB at 2666 MHz. So in going with this particular RAM kit, I had broken 2 unwritten rules. The first was that the minimum amount of RAM you're going to want for a gaming PC is 16GB. And I think that's fairly widely regarded, and if you watch a lot of other people's budget builds, that's what they tend to go with. The second rule is that Ryzen CPUs tend to like faster RAM, and in general in most of my builds I will try to go with at least 3200 MHz and 3600 MHz if I can. But the only way I could actually get this build under £450 was to go with this particular kit of RAM, which I managed to pick up for just £38. To get 16GB of RAM, we were going to easily double that, and that is spending over 15% of our budget on RAM, and that didn't make sense to me. So in that full step-by-step PC build guide, I said I would make a separate video testing the performance of this PC with the RAM kit I went with, and also with more RAM and more RAM at a faster speed. So the first thing to do was to benchmark my original build with the 8GB of RAM, and I did that using Shadow of the Tomb Raider and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I was keen to use the game's built-in benchmarks so there would be less variation between one configuration and the other. And as this was a budget build, I tested both games at 1080p and using medium graphics settings. So first of all, looking at Shadow of the Tomb Raider, we got 58 frames per second using the built-in benchmark, and in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, we got 60 frames per second. The next thing I wanted to test was again something that's widely regarded as a bad idea, and that was running just one stick of RAM. So I replaced the RAM in the system with one stick of 8GB of Team Group's RAM, which can run at 3200 MHz, although I didn't enable the XMP profile, so the RAM ran at 2400 MHz. Looking at the performance difference with the same amount of RAM, but now with one stick and a slightly lower frequency, we actually only dropped 1 frame per second on both the games. The next thing I did was I added a second stick of the Team Group RAM, bringing our total RAM up to 16GB, but left it running at 2400 MHz. In Shadow of the Tomb Raider, we got 58 frames per second, which was exactly the same as our original build, while in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, we got 59 frames per second, which was 1 frame less than our original build. The next thing I did was I enabled the XMP profile, so we now had 16GB of RAM running at 3200 MHz. In Shadow of the Tomb Raider, our frames per second remained at 58, so no improvement from our original build, while in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, we got 1 extra frame per second, bringing our average up to 61. The next configuration I tested was adding 16GB of Kingston's HyperX Fury at 3600 MHz. So again, looking at the performance in both the games, we got exactly the same frames per second as what we did when we were using just 8GB at 2666 MHz. So how do I explain this? We've doubled the amount of RAM and we've used significantly faster RAM, but we've got exactly the same frames per second in 2 games. And the only way to explain this is that our RAM is not the bottleneck in this system. And the most likely bottleneck in this system is the GPU. So what this tells me, if you are actually planning on building a similarly spec system, you're wasting your money if you go for more RAM than 8GB, or if you try and get RAM with a faster speed. It is important to state that I have only tested this in 2 games and using built-in game benchmarks, and you may get different performance in a different game. The next thing I wanted to test was see if we push things a little bit further by increasing the graphics settings in both the games to their maximum settings, still at 1080p, would that make any difference with exactly the same configurations of RAM? So in both the games we had a significant reduction in the frame rate, particularly in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, And these wouldn't be settings obviously I'm recommending you playing on. The only reason for doing it was to try and push the system a little bit more, and I didn't think the 1440p was realistic with this PC. So I think the big things to point out here, we're starting to see the disadvantages of a single stick of RAM in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. That was the configuration that significantly dropped the frames per second. And as well in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, we did get a slight benefit from having slightly faster RAM, although all these changes were only by 1 or 2 frames per second. It was a different story in Shadow of the Tomb Raider, where our original build and the build with 16 gigabytes of RAM at 3600 megahertz had exactly the same frame rate. So the next thing I wanted to test would be what would happen if we removed the GPU bottleneck. Would we see any difference between the different kits of RAM? And my first idea for removing it was simply to drop in a 3080. My only problem was when I ran the benchmarks, every time the computer crashed in the middle of the benchmarks, and it just seemed that the CPU wasn't able to keep up with the GPU. So my next idea was to add in a 2070 and see if that would work. So I think the key results to point out are looking at our base configuration compared to the top configuration with 16 gigabytes at 3600 megahertz. In Shadow of the Tomb Raider, we only got 2 extra frames per second. While in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, we actually got 1 less frame per second. I think the other important thing to point out was that now that we were getting significantly worse performance with the single stick of RAM. So a big drop down to 77 frames per second compared to 94 in Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and down to 61 frames per second from 66 in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So even with fixing the GPU bottleneck in the system, we weren't getting any significant improvement with more RAM or RAM of a faster speed. And this is probably because there's other bottlenecks in our system, and the most likely one is our CPU. So for interest's sake, I did throw in a Ryzen 5 5600X, and that did bring our frames per second in Shadow of the Tomb Raider up to 122, while in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, we actually dropped down to 64. So I find these results really interesting, and I think that last test with the 5600X just shows it really depends on what games you're playing, because going from a 3100 to a 5600X made no difference in one game, but made a very significant difference in another. So I set out to answer my original question with a really budget build. Did RAM speed and capacity of RAM over 8 gigabytes make any difference? And the answer is no, it doesn't. So in different games and in a higher end system, you may have differences. And that may be something I do a future video on. I'll maybe build a higher end system and run the same tests again and see what difference we get. So hopefully you found the video interesting. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.